Hello everybody, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. So, where we left off last time, we had gotten a package to deliver to an area called Salt Town, which is up north, but I wanted to come back into the city to this building here, the Breach Outreach, because I know there's a quest here that will involve us going to Salt Town, so I figured we can kind of consolidate what we're doing. So yeah, let's go on in. Local, war book, local, Cosmo.
Welcome to the Breach Outreach. Mr. Breach has been expecting you. Please direct your attention to the intercom on the wall.
Tell me about Mr. Breach, or the Breach.
The Breach Outreach is the main proprietor of news in the greater Portland area. The company is owned and operated by its founder, Mr. Breach. Mr. Breach founded this company 4 decades ago to deliver information to the people of Portland. To learn more, you'll have to speak to Mr. Breach himself.
Okay. So this is a radio station, basically. I thought Bob Frost was the main man here.
A common misconception. While Bob Frost is a high-value employee, Mr. Breach owns this company and handles its day-to-day operation.
And how'd you get this job?
The position of secretary was previously held by a woman named Janet. Mr. Breach noticed her talent and wisely promoted her to the position of reporter. Since then, this position has been occupied by me.
Fair enough.
Over and out.
Alright. Hope you don't mind, I'm gonna loot the place. He said he was expecting us. Kinda creepy. Local. Is this place just like an old hotel? Man, there's a lot of lights. It's way too many chandeliers. Food. Check out the kitchen. Man, I could go for some food. That's what I should have done before I started recording. I like these animated, like, they've got animated cabinets. I've seen boxes, like toolboxes and stuff. It's kind of nice. One of you, oh wait, you're a chef? Head wrap. This is what episode 500 will be. It's just going to be me looting stuff. Picking up miscellaneous items, ASMR. I hope that's not like fuel. Or is this cautioned off because it's on fire? Alright. Ooh, what you hiding in here? Oh! Yeah, that's no good. A little bit dangerous, I think. That's a body. You're gonna kill me now that I found out. Alright, where's the door out of here? Oh. Let's find this intercom.
Greetings, I am Mr. Breach. Welcome to my castle. I assume you're here because of the ad.
There was an ad. I wasn't. Was it on the radio? I had my radio off. So you know me?
Oh, yes. I have friends in low places, so to speak, and they've taken quite the interest in you.
Are you saying I'm in a low place? You need something delivered?
Not exactly. I'll be brief. You've got quite a past, kid, and if it's true, then I think you have what it takes to be a reporter.
Really? Am I qualified?
You may not have a fancy piece of paper to back you up, but you've got experience where it counts. You know the wastes like the back of your hand, and you've dealt with all the major powers. Further, you'll go to any lengths to get what you want, the most important quality of any journalist. You'll have to start as a junior reporter, of course, but the pay is good, and you'll be doing Portland a great service. So what do you say, kid? You in?
Can I ask some questions?
Of course. You'd be a poor fit for the job if you didn't.
Yeah, good point. What can you tell me about the reporters here?
They're the best in the business, 100 times better than the chumps under that clown Three Dog.
Who?
Alliter and Cooper are your standard news reporters. Cold, professional, and dedicated to the truth. Paparazzi, on the other hand, is wild, maybe even feral. He's far from reliable, but when he gets it good, he gets it great.
Huh. And Bob Frost?
Ah, Frost. He's the editor-in-chief here, and my future successor. His skills as a journalist aren't all that spectacular, but he pairs it with an unmatched charisma that demands attention. The Breach outreach is in good hands.
Can I meet him?
Afraid not. He's too valuable to risk on an unknown. But play your cards right, and you may just get an interview.
Oh, okay. What do you think of the NCR radio?
Oh, it's a propaganda machine, plain and simple. The truth will always be secondary to their agenda. Still, they have good people there. Even John Walker could do great work if he kept his ego in check.
Yeah.
A word of advice, don't mention NCR radio around here. The other reporters will be far less civil in their opinions.
Fair enough. What can you tell me about yourself?
My friends know me as Thaddeus R. Breach, but we're not friends.
Oh.
You and everyone else in this building shall refer to me as Mr. Breach. My ancestors founded Radiation King, the company that produced all the radios and TV sets you see today. I suppose it was only fitting that I continue my family's legacy in broadcasting.
Okay. So, wait, are you pre-war ghoul or something?
I was an adventurer, a treasure hunter. I risked my life to recover precious artifacts from the old world. It was hard work, but if you were good, you could make a fortune. And I was very good at it. The caps I made back then helped keep this station afloat.
Huh. You missed the treasure hunting?
Who says I stopped? True, I'm not diving into vaults anymore, but a good story is just as valuable as any old world treasure. Besides, there's still plenty of risk. The bullet holes in my office walls can attest to that.
So why'd you form the outreach?
Do you know what it was like in Portland before we came around? It was chaos. Abject chaos. Settlements were failing left and right, powerful tribes vanished overnight, world-changing events came and went without so much as a whisper. No one knew what was happening or why. That scared people. And when people get scared, well, nothing good happens. And so, in the spirit of my ancestors, I built Breach Outreach to give the people a way to communicate with one another and stay informed. No more guessing, no more stabs in the dark. Everyone knew what was happening and why. It's no exaggeration to say, Portland wouldn't be what it is today without us.
Yeah, you're kind of like Prometheus, bringing fire to the humans. You expect me to believe you built all this on your own?
You're sharp. I like that about you. Yes, I had help. A patron, if you would. In fact, this patron is still our primary supporter.
What does this patron gain from helping?
If I get into specifics, they'll probably kill you. Let's just say our patron has a vested interest in Portland's stability.
Is it the network? There a reason I have to talk to you like this?
You make a lot of enemies in this business, kid. It pays to be cautious. Prove that I can trust you, and we may just meet face to face.
Okay.
Right.
So, said something before about it. Well, what's so special about the place?
The Breach Outreach holds itself to a high journalistic standard not seen since prior to the Great War. We work tirelessly to dig up the truth and expose the evils done by those in power. In addition, this station is an independent, privately owned corporation. This ensures that our reports remain unbiased.
Nice. Okay. And what's this job you got?
I knew you'd come around. I'll be brief. You've got quite a past, kid. And if it's true, then I think you have what it takes to be a reporter.
Level 111. Think I'm qualified?
You may not have a fancy piece of paper to back you up, but you've got experience where it counts. You know the wastes like the back of your hand, and you've dealt with all the major powers. Further, you'll go to any lengths to get what you want. The most important quality of any journalist. You'll have to start as a junior reporter, of course, but the pay is good, and you'll be doing Portland a great service.
Alright.
So what do you...
Yeah, you convinced me.
Great to have you, kid. For your first assignment, I want you to speak to Paparazzi and Cooper on the second floor. They're two of my best reporters, and they're in need of a helping hand. Once that's wrapped up, speak to me for your next job. Over and out.
Ooh, Newsman Fedora. What's that? No. No special effects. Alright, second floor, or... Where's the stairs? Suites? Suites. Studio. Oh God. That goes to the lobby. Alright, game. I'm gonna need you to work with me here. While I steal this food. Never mind. It was just that one area. New song idea. Huh. Little recording booth. Nice. That's what I want to do if I ever own my own home. Actually turn a room into like an office and put up proper soundproofing in it. Alright. Hello. Cooper?
So you're the freelancer Mr. Breach brought in. Can't say I'm happy you're on the payroll, but it's not really up to me.
Well, what did I do? You got a problem?
Yes, actually, I do. The Breach Outreach is a symbol of journalistic integrity. What happens to that when we start bringing in random people off the street?
Okay, yeah. Sure, I'll see it from your point of view.
Well, okay then. I didn't expect that. You know what? Let's just focus on the job.
Okay. So what do you think about Mr. Breach?
It would be best if we didn't have a boss at all. But all things considered, he's the best we could have hoped for. He's mostly hands-off, and he seems to really care about this place.
And you?
Me? There's nothing interesting about me. No story there.
Well, I mean, if you consider me to be riffraff, I imagine you consider yourself to be higher up, so what makes you so special? Thoughts on the other reporters?
Me and Allider work well together. Although he's a bit too safe, in my opinion. He waits for the stories to come to him. As for Dylan, or Paparazzi, as he calls himself, I don't know why he's here. He's got one or two good stories, but the rest is garbage.
And Mr. Frost?
Bob's a good guy, and a good reporter. I don't think he's as good as everyone says, but still.
Alright, so what's the job you got for me?
Yes, I suppose I do. There's a town in Legion territory called Irvington. It's a small hole in the ground, barely worth mentioning.
I've been there.
Or it would be, if not for the fact that it's about to enter a full-blown pandemic.
Already got the details.
People in that town are getting sick, and people who visit that town rarely ever come back.
Not true, I'm standing here.
Something big is going down, and we need to find out what.
So... Okay, yeah. Does the Legion not care?
From what I can tell, they don't know about it. At least not yet. You can bet they'll raise the town once it starts affecting them.
Good point. Alright.
One last thing. If you have time, ask around and see what else is going on. Knowing you, I doubt you'll find much, but anything helps.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Alright, let's just get the other quest from... Was it Paparazzi? So we can get out of this frickin' building. I'm sorry about this, everyone. Inaccessible. Oh. Why's this place gotta be so big? Jesus Christ. You have a fucking car in here? What the hell? How'd you even do that?
Hey, what's up, new guy? Ignore the shakes. I'm doing a story about chem addiction, so, you know.
You must be deep undercover.
I'm not a journalist. At least, not like Oliver and Cooper are. I'm something else, a different breed. I don't just write the stories, I live them. I go where no one else is willing to go and do things that make any sane person pause. And I do it all for the truth, baby.
Can I be a journalist like you? It sounds fun.
It's not supposed to be fun. At least, not all the time.
So thoughts on the others?
Oliver and Cooper mean well, but they just don't get it. They think they can get the full story by standing far away and being objective. But you can't report from a distance, can't write things you haven't lived, and yet they call me a bad journalist.
That's a good point. Mr. Frost?
Well, besides Mr. Breach, he's the only other person here I respect. Yeah, he doesn't get as crazy as me, but he'll get down and dirty when the story calls for it. Plus, the guy's a party animal. Best drinking buddy I've ever had.
So what can I do to help you?
Yeah, I was actually about to come get you. Portland runs on salt, that's a fact. And all salt comes from Salt Town. Creative name, right?
Yeah?
The guy in charge is a man named the Foreman. He's a recluse. He never leaves his office. Which means it's almost impossible to get a read on him. But you're about to change that.
And how about that?
Check this out. It's a bug. Picked it up from P-Town before the ghost showed up.
The what?
You get this near the Foreman, and we'll know everything he does in there.
Wait, what do you mean the ghost? Is this illegal?
Is it strictly speaking legal? No. Is that gonna stop me? No. Is that gonna stop you? Well, I hope not.
I mean, it's not the first time I've planted a bug. Yeah, let's see what I can do.
All right. Just planting it in the building will be good enough. But if you can get it into his office, you'd be a legend here.
Okay. So can I ask you about the car? Breach of trust.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah. Anything about the car?
I'm a Reno kid. Grew up there till my dad got in bad with the bishops. When he died, my mom moved us up north. When my mom died, I tried to make it in junk fleet. Ran a one-man poetry show before the old man brought me on.
Okay. Mr. Breach?
He's a bit stuck up, but the old man's cool. He gets how I work and makes sure I have everything I need.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my real name. In the back when times, people used to call the greatest journalist paparazzi.
Mm-hmm.
I keep the tradition alive.
Okay.
See ya.
Does this car actually work? Alright. I'm gonna pause as I make our way out of the building. Pick these up. Is there anything on the terminal? What can I read here? Oh God. This is gonna be hell. Style. Nope. Shiny. Apply. Networks story. Social network paparazzi. Breach outreach editor. Up to many local flavors of business, one can indulge in the frontier. One wouldn't expect information brokering to be a part of daily life, and yet the network can get you nearly any information, for the right price, of course. Nobody knows exactly how the network operates beyond the iBots the 10th Eye speaks through. While the 10th Eye has proved on numerous occasions to be one of our most reliable sources of news, they always extract a toll, often in the form of information. Luckily for us, however, our regular broadcasts featuring Bob Ross are considered enough information for a friendly business relationship. A question we are often asked is how to get in contact with the network, and that is unfortunately beyond what we can disclose. Odds are, if you live in a fairly populated area, you can find one of the iBots hovering around, observing its surroundings. Whether or not it even responds to you, though, that's another matter entirely. Snowblind story. Snowblind sundown. Many tales have been told of the snowblind, their losses, tragedies, and eventual submission to the Legion, but now the land they used to occupy has become a tourist local where one can learn their history. An old friend of mine from New Reno has recently set up shop in one of the intact dwellings left behind by the snowblind and has begun giving tours to locals and travelers alike. For a pittance of caps, you can learn the tragic story of one of the frontier's largest tribes, and even come to understand the causes of the current conflicts. I myself will be writing a novel detailing their history. Check your local vendor or caravan soon for a copy of In the Blizzard, a tale of a tribe lost. A limited run of 500 autographed copies will be published as collector's items. Urgent reprint. Do not under any circumstance approach Snowblind Point. Many tourists have been reported missing after traveling to the region. Mr. Razi's new biography will be delayed as compensation. Pre-purchases can come to Breach Outreach for a free signing of bestseller Mean Streets of New Reno by Mr. Razi himself. Slum story submitted. Squalid slums. You know what's a good indicator for the quality of living space? How much shit you have to walk past to get there. And no, I don't mean shit as a broad catch-all term. I mean literal human fecal matter. For the junk-free slums, that shit is roughly 4,000 tons pulled into a disgusting pit of raw sewage on the bridge into the area. Do you know what your sense of smell is? If your nose detecting small particles of the air contents, it's your nose detecting small particles of the air's contents. When you walk over that bridge and are nasally assaulted by the stench, that's you breathing in tiny pieces of shit. What the fuck's the point? You all are on jet anyway. Your lungs are already caked with the stuff. Bob, I know you're not going to read this before you ship it off to Cosmo for printing, but I'm not going to the goddamn slums for a report ever again. Send Cooper over the river shit into Hades. Might give her an excuse to see that Sam Viper moron she won't stop drooling over. Okay, I'm gonna pause for a second and we'll be downstairs. Alright, we're back. Just picking up bottle caps in the fountain. I like how as soon as I stopped recording, my frame rate jumped up again. Alright, which one of these leads outside? That's the kitchen. It's this way, right? Frontier. So I think we'll try to head over to Salt Town first. What's going on over there? Yeah. Well, let's do the Irvington one first, actually. Yeah, we'll do Irvington first. Just since we've already kind of done Irvington's whole quest, I figure we can wrap this up pretty quickly here. Wait, who is it? Oh. Looking for Dr. Pavis again? Tycho?
Hello again.
Hey. Is he doing better, or? Oh. Patient log. Sorry, Doc. What's he got? Oh, new song idea. I forgot we picked this up. Heard the report going out today. Apparently that courier that got shot in the Mojave a while back is headed up here, so very far from home. Hey, that's not a bad title, actually. A wanderer of the waste who was saved from their own execution, set loose by a doctor on the run, carrying all the demons with them. Might mix up the lyrics and the characters a little bit, though. Last thing I want is for Walker to come in here ranting at Bob again because of one of my tunes. Patient log. The patient was brought in with numerous gunshot wounds to the chest. He was declared dead on arrival. The patient apparently tried to rob the general store before Zara shot him dead. She's taken a few of his personal effects back to her house. Didn't ask why. Not my place. Okay. Question Zaris or search her house. Oh. Just close that. do. Nervous. Monthly report. NCR continues to be a non-issue, though they do seem to be getting closer. My old friends are telling me that the NCR's war effort has been renewed, but they couldn't tell me why. My best guess is that it was something to do with the Wolfpack. arrested, then exiled a raider who tried to break into the general store. The guy was scared half to death, said the hanged man was coming after him. I can't tell whether this hanged man impresses me or scares me. Caught some sick pervert trying to watch me undress, beaten him up and threw him out of town. Next time he comes back, he gets a bullet in his privates. Caravan came through here. They seemed to be interested in trading with us, but I have a feeling they were after something more. I told the rest of the town not to talk about them. Hopefully no one will go looking for them. May and Chloe are still causing trouble. I sent Candy a warning about May's behavior, but to be honest, I think I was too harsh. May's a troublemaker, but she's ultimately harmless. If she wasn't, I'd have gotten rid of her years ago. Deputy Vale shot himself in the foot again. I'm seriously starting to consider replacing him. Harold requested someone go look for Gladstone, but I had to deny the request. I wish I could help, but we don't have enough people to spare. Maybe the Legion would be interested. Legion came for their payment, gave them everything as promised, and they left. Log 135. Saw Chloe again today, said hi, but she just ignored me. Don't blame her, but it still hurts. Decided to quit drinking for good this time, but I know it's going to be hard. But if I can get my daughter to even notice me again, it'll be worth it. Couldn't have done it at a worse time, though. That sickness Joseph reported is starting to spread, and Harold is having trouble keeping it in check. We've lost 3 people to that garbage already, and now Greg is infected. Joseph tells me that he can find a way to treat it soon, but I don't know how long the town can hold out. May Caulfield arrest report. Suspect was apprehended while defacing the gravestones behind the clinic. Deputy Vale identified the type of damage as similar to the crimes that had been committed some time ago. Suspect also identified herself, albeit sarcastically, as being responsible for destroying the windows of the Zaris house 2 years ago. The make of her baseball bat seemed to confirm this. Suspect was fined 2,000 caps and given to the care of her parents, with the intent being that they would further punish the young suspect how they saw fit. Parents were informed that if this behavior continues, harsher actions will be taken against the suspect. Arrest report, Chloe Zaris. The suspect was arrested in the outskirts when she was caught shooting bottles in front of Old Ben's shack. The suspect seemed to have little to no care for possibly wounding Old Ben or causing permanent damage to the shack. Suspect also discovered to be in possession of a number of dangerous chems. Suspect refused to name her supplier, but it's most likely Tycho. Suspect was discharged with warning due to Old Ben refusing to press charges. Suspect will be kept under. Suspect will be ignored. Log 150. I fell off the wagon. Everything happened so fast. Jose died. Richinald refused to come back, and Deputy Vale was Deputy Vale. Meanwhile, the mayor came to collect more caps than agreed upon and nearly razed the town. Couldn't stop myself. I couldn't. God, I'm so pathetic. Arrest report, Tycho. Suspect was apprehended near the general store in the process of what was believed to be a chem deal with a militia member, Richinald. Suspect was searched several times, but no chems other contraband were found on this person. Deputy Vale suggested that the suspect's face mask be removed to see if he was hiding anything there, but his suggestion was immediately denied due to possible harm to the suspect. Since it proved impossible to prove the suspect's guilt, he was released with no punishment. He will, however, be held under close surveillance. Blake's files. Let's see what we got. Already read all these. Okay, where's the Blake's files? Jesus. Excusez-moi. Let's see. Can we question the store clerk? Let me check the quest, see if it gave us. I think it was an optional objective. Come on. See what else you can dig up. Okay. Hey, know anything about being robbed?
Welcome back. What?
No. Alright. Where's Zeris at? Had trouble finding her last time we were here. Tycho?
The fuck you want?
See ya. Who's over here? Anyone here know anything about this? Reginald.
Hi.
Hey. Nope. Deputy Vale.
You need something else?
No. Quick save. Broadcasting. Alright. Doesn't end in ing. Purification. Ooh, it's a good close match. Infiltration. There we go. Log 1. Captain Horgan, report 1, January 2nd. Finally got the barracks up and running. It's about time. We're already 2 weeks behind. The Reds come knocking now. This is before the war. We wouldn't even have time to fire a shot. You'd think the people would be more grateful. After all, we might be the only thing standing between them and annihilation. They even said we were fascists. The firing squad should keep them quiet, at least for a little while. Can't wait to see the Reds' face when they see what we've done with the place. Just got the word from the front. America held the line in Alaska, forced the Reds out of Anchorage with their tails between their ass cheeks. That will show those commie motherfuckers what happens when you mess with us. Not everything's good news, though. I got a message from the president. He wants me back in Washington. I want to stay here longer and whip these people into shape, but orders are orders. I'll be putting Jacoby in charge while I'm gone. Hopefully we'll be able to keep himself from pissing the bed. Acting Captain Jacoby. Finally got this working again. I wish the captain would have given me the password before he left, but if I asked, he'd probably have just locked me out permanently. Things are bad out here, really bad. Captain Horgan was harsh, but he kept the people in line with him gone. The town's starting to turn against us. Most of the citizens just left, but some have formed a kind of militia. They think they're taking the town back from us. It's hard to say that they're wrong. To be honest, I don't even know why we're still here. The war is basically over. We've lost close to 5 men and doubled that number in civilians, and it's only going to get worse the longer we stay here. Log 4. Oh my god, it's actually happening. We got an emergency signal from the airport, and then we saw it. Mushroom cloud right over Portland. Civilians are going crazy, even the kids. We managed to hold them off for a while, but we're out of ammo, and now they're trying to break into the barracks. I don't know how much longer we can hold out. Fuck. Orders. Your mission is to secure the town of Irvington, fortify in case of possible Chinese invasion. You are to be the country's front line against communist aggression should Alaska fall. Martial law is in effect, and you are given free rein on what you must do in order to pacify the town's population. Some will attempt to resist you. They are all most likely communist infiltrators and should be dealt with as such. You are not to leave the town until the recall order is given. If you disobey these orders, you will be considered a traitor and dealt with as such. That is all. Okay, well that doesn't really help our case. Alright, I'm gonna pause for a sec and see if I can find Zeris. So I found Zeris, but Doesn't look like she's got anything here. I talked to Zoe and May. I think the only person I haven't talked to would be old Ben. So I'll give him a shot, and where was old Ben? It's like that bunker on the edge of town, right? Yeah, right here. Well, actually, wait, there's the doctor in the bunker. I could ask him. He might know, like, he might be able to give some story information.
Howdy.
Howdy. Nope. Alright. Let's see if the other Pavis brothers in the bunker. Where did we leave him? I think he's this way. Hey.
You're back.
Yeah. Oh. How close are you to a cure?
I won't be able to continue my research into the subject until we've finished repairing the lab.
Ah.
However, once we're finished, I'm confident that I will soon make a breakthrough.
Okay. So what are you doing now?
Right now, we're working to repair the damage, to replace those that were lost. It will take quite some time until the lab is operational again. Luckily, the backup food stores should last until we've finished our repairs.
Have you talked to your brother?
Yes. I've been talking to Harold more now. What happened down here, it's put things into perspective. I'm not going to take what my brother and I have for granted anymore.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Honestly, I don't know if there's anyone else we can really talk to. Huh. So I guess we'll just head back to Chloe. I am going to cut here, though, because we're running a little bit past what I'd like. But next episode, episode 500, we'll make that a long one, and we'll see what we've got planned for, I guess, like a bonus extra game to play after episode 500. So, hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all later. Y'all have a wonderful day.